State your name, please, and proceed.
I'm Dr. Susan Brady. I'm emeritus professor from the University of Rhode Island. I have engaged in research on how children learn to read, what the nature of reading disabilities are, why some children have more difficulty learning to read, what methods of instruction seem to be more effective, and lots more areas. So I come to share some of the research perspectives with you. The research has been burgeoning for 40 plus years. And in that time, a great deal has been learned about the process of learning to read, that it is not a natural human ability. We did not evolve to read and write. The brain has to rely on existing abilities in language and memory and other cognitive skills in order to acquire this. We know from research that the brain develops new networks to handle this task, that the dyslexic person does not easily develop those networks, but with proper instruction can do so, with early intervention can do so. So it is critical to provide that proper instruction. We know that students with dyslexia do not differ in kind, they differ in degree on certain underlying language skills. So they are on a continuum. Another key part of the research is demonstration that explicit, systematic instruction is the most effective for all children. So as you're thinking about the bills before you and the cost to educate children who have been labeled as having a special ed problem or a dyslexia problem, let me assure you that educating teachers in how to provide this instruction would benefit almost all children in Rhode Island. The reading scores would go up. Now, after this multi-decade onslaught of research, very well established, very well verified, a great deal of elegant research going into establishing these findings, there has been very little translation into educational practice. Why is that? The belief system about how children learn to read is fundamentally different, and I call it a belief system. So within colleges of education, there has been the approach that learning to read is natural, that what one needs to do is motivate, as you heard Dr. Louise Moat say earlier, and that children will just pick it up and take off. Not so. Direct instruction is necessary. But given that belief system, there has been reluctance to accept the results of research and to change how students are being trained. So we go on turning out teachers dedicated to making a difference, very much wanting to do their best, who have not been taught the skills that people have gotten through Orton Gillingham. Could they be taught? Absolutely. Should they be taught those? Absolutely. And you hear the pain of people who have trained in special education or early education when they realize they were never taught what works. So what's the consequence of this failure? If we look at the data on Rhode Island, whether we look at the results of the kneecap tests that were done for a number of years, or the PARCC exam that came in to assess educational progress, or the RICA that was more recent, or if we look at the National Assessment of Educational Progress that is conducted at a national level every 4 years, what you consistently see is that in Rhode Island, only about 38-39% of children are at grade level or above. That's bad. That is seriously bad. We should all be worried about that. That means that some 60% are way behind, or at least behind, a combination. If we look at the NAEP exam, we find there is a socio-cultural factor here related to poverty. So children who come to school needing free and reduced lunch, only about 23% of those are reading at grade level. That's true in 4th grade, And the problem continues to 8th and beyond. It doesn't go away. The early years are critical.
That's the 5-minute mark.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Brady.
Let me just finish up saying
In conclusion.
that in conclusion, well, not quite in conclusion, if you look at middle-class parents,
Okay. Quickly,
52% of children are reading at grade level. The problem is widespread. We need to do something about it. We need to change how teachers are educated.
Thank you.